Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mello. I know everyone has been sharing their 2022 pre-orders list, but I feel like I've shown most of my pre-orders in a couple of previous videos, so I wanted to do the top 9 most anticipated figures for 2022. I thought it was a really fun idea to narrow down pre-orders into the 9 you're most excited about. So let's check out what figures I'm most ecstatic about. My first anticipated figure is Fat Company's 1/7 scale of HK416 from Girls Frontline. This is the heavy damage version. My feelings for this figure has not changed since the first time I saw it. It looks absolutely so cool. I love this kind of streetwear meets tactical wear. I love her pose where she's just casually walking, carrying a rifle, and I love the movement and the hair, and her face is absolutely gorgeous. I have this pre-ordered with Nin Game and I've already paid for it, and it's set to be released by the end of January, so it's possibly the first one I'm gonna get. And I'm really excited to unbox her together with her Nendoroid. Second is probably my sexiest pre-order, which is Furyu's 1/7 scale of Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, it is a glorified noodle stopper, but you cannot deny how good looking this figure is. For a male figure, we don't get a lot of male figures that are this attractive, and I think it's a very unique pose for Gojo. And honestly, to me, it's the best Gojo figure out there. So I'm really happy that I was able to snag a pre-order slot for it. I did, however, order it locally, so I might be getting it maybe a month or so after the Japanese release. Hey guys, Editing Mellow here. I don't know what happened, but one of the footage was missing. I may have accidentally deleted it, and I didn't want to reshoot, so here we are. Third spot goes to a bit of a surprise because it is a pre-order I made just a few days ago. This is Alter's 1/7 scale of Kirito from Sword Art Online. And I can't believe I'm getting an SAO figure because I think I've passed my SAO fanatic phase. But it is one of those anime that got me back into watching anime. I recently saw photos of this figure and I thought it looked really good. But before placing the order, I went to my figure collection and scanned through the available Kirito scales, and surprisingly there isn't a lot, and I concluded that this one by Alter is the best one. I love everything about this figure. First off, the scale, it's a 1/7, because normally Alter's male line, Altair, does just 1/8. I also love the pose of the figure. It's pretty dynamic even though he's just standing because of the movement in the clothes. And I love how they nailed Kirito's face. Kirito's design isn't the most original, so you can mistake him for some other character, but I think they nailed his face in this figure. So I'm very excited to get my first SAO figure. And now back to last night me. Fourth spot to date is my most expensive pre-order because normally I don't go up this price range for a figure, but since it's one of my favorite characters, and honestly I was shocked that she got a scale figure, so I kind of talked myself into pre-ordering her. This is Kadokawa's 1/7 scale of Arachne Shirori from So I'm a Spider, So What. Kumiko is probably top 5 in my most favorite characters list. I love the anime. I think she's the female version of Rimuru, and her isekai journey is so much more troublesome than Rimuru's. So once the pre-order was up on AmiAmi, I clicked place order so fast that I didn't care what the scale was or who the manufacturer was. All I knew was I needed to have the figure. And yes, for a 1/7, she is really expensive. Sometimes I try to justify it to myself that, oh, she comes with a separate human body and the spider eyes can light up, but it's still overpriced for what it is. But basically at this point, she is a grail figure for me, so I just turn a blind eye. And also I got the matching Nendoroid with the Kumiko Nendoroid so that I get to display her in her first form and her well, most recent evolution in the anime. Fifth spot goes to the only 1/8 scale figure on this list, and it is an OmniOG character, specifically from the OmniOG RPG game. This is Shikuri Konshin Homni. I probably butchered that. Anyway, this is still my happy figure. By that I mean, whenever I see it, it just makes me smile. Probably because I love Hot Pot and it's basically a Hot Pot figure. It's also a plus that it comes with a chibi figure, and I'm a sucker for chibi figures. I think the pose is very unique and it's just a very interesting figure. And historically, OmniOG figures have turned out well, so I'm very hopeful that this is going to be a really good figure. Magic number 6 goes to the cutest figure in this top 9 list, and it is the 1/7 scale Susu Tushan One Shui Yishan version by Solar Rain, and this is from the Fox Spirit Matchmaker. Now, I don't know anything about the source material, but as soon as I saw this, the thing that sold me was the cute bunny rabbit the main figure sits on, and it was reason enough for me to place a pre-order. I don't know anything about the manufacturer as well, but I think Solar Rain has released some other Fox Spirit Matchmaker figures and they look pretty good, so I am hopeful that this is going to turn out pretty well. Lucky number 7 goes to, I think, the most bang for your buck figure on this list, because essentially you're getting 2 figures. This is the 1/7 Jahi by Medico's Entertainment, and if you haven't seen the anime, give it a shot. It's pretty funny. And I just love the sculpt of this figure. I love that they did both the adult Jahi and the child form Jahi, because I don't think it would work with just one or the other. And I love how the base just ties it all together, and it's essentially a piece of the monocrystal. I love the sculpt of this figure, especially of how the skin looks, like the folds that they were able to get in that prototype just looks so good. So I'm just really hopeful that the final release product is as good as the prototype. Second to the last figure is my first Azerine figure, and this is a 1/7 scale of Ying Sui. And this is a bit of a risk because the manufacturer is a new one called Neon Max, and I think this is their first figure. But the prototype looks so good that I was willing to take the risk. And look at that base. The base is phenomenal. I think the colors are so good. It's like the color palette of Emilia from ReZero. I love the pose. It's very dynamic. And the face. The face of the figure is so adorable. So I am praying to the figure making gods that they make this figure turn out perfectly, because it was not cheap. And the last figure on my top 9 most anticipated figures for 2022 is not going to be a surprise. I think almost everyone has her on their list, and it is the 1/7 Radio Eva Part 2 Asuka by Hobby Max. Do I need to explain why I have this on pre-order? The drip on this figure is overflowing, and that's coming from a non-Evangelion fan. And I think she's gonna turn out amazing, just like how the part 1s turn out amazing. And I plan to display her with HK416 because they look like they're walking in the same direction. And I'm gonna make 416 kind of walk behind her, so she's like her bodyguard. And that's it for my top 9 list. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button. When I was making the list, I thought I was going to have some runner-ups or some special mentions, but honestly, in a hypothetical setting, if these were the only 9 figures I get in 2022, I still think it's going to be a very solid addition to my collection. And if you want to see unboxing of these figures, please do consider subscribing. And I'd love to know, what is your most anticipated figure that you think no one else has on their list? I'd love to know. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye!